Okay. My name is Erica Lasan, and I'm a joy strategist and creative consultant. And I'm here to tell you guys how to create content as a newbie, and sharing your story and building your brand with joy, one feel-good thing at a time. Because if you're not doing things with joy, let me tell you something, you are missing out, okay? Because that is really and truly how you should be focusing your life and all of the good things. So before we get into that, I want to tell you guys a little bit about who I am. And this is so important because when you are creating content, you need to know and trust who you are. So let me introduce myself. My name is Erica. I'm a woman. I'm a mom of two. I'm a stay-at-home full-time mom. So that's like a whole other breed of parenthood. I am a wife to my amazing partner of a really long time, over a decade. I am Nigerian American. I am a lover of people. I'm a multi-passionate creative. But most importantly, I am a child of God. And the reason why I share all of this is because who you are and how you view the world impacts your joy, but more importantly, it shows up as your identity and what you desire to put forth in the world and how you speak to people and ultimately how you create your content in a way that connects with joy, by knowing who you are and being able to state those things. What I do is I create for a living. As a multi-passionate creative, this is something that I am so passionate about because I believe that we are all artists. Whether you're an engineer, whether you are a doctor, whether you are a mathematician, in some way, shape, or form, you are a creative. And the moment that you're able to tap into your creativity, that is the moment that you're able to create a beautiful world of possibilities. But more importantly, that's the moment that you're able to show up and live in your purpose. So I started off as a jewelry designer when I was 13. I've done campaigns for brands like Baby Catan and baby carriers and a whole lot of other things. I've done a lot of brand work. But in addition to this, I just enjoy creating on my own and doing little photo shoots, as you can see here. And it's a really, really good time. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to create content that connects with joy, aligned with who you are, highlighting ways for you to execute quick content in a way where you're able to repurpose it across many platforms, and how to showcase your personality in a way where you're able to create this content in a way that isn't stressful for you. As a multi-passionate creative, I've been doing this for over 20 years, and it's really led to amazing opportunities. But it took me like 3 years to figure out the sauce, and now I'm here to share it with you guys. And if you have any questions, make sure that you're putting them in the chat, because I will make sure to go back and review them at the end of the conversation to make sure that we're touching all of the points. All right. So my mission as a multi-passionate creative and as a person, right, because this is really important that you first and foremost come to the world as a person, is to transform the world through radical joy. And I do this by helping people find joy through purpose, open conversations, and healing experiences. What I do as a joy strategist is that I help individuals and entrepreneurs who are overwhelmed, overworked, and over it develop creative solutions and personal systems to find more joy, purpose, and healing in what's next. But as a creative consultant, I help individuals and brands conceptualize and create the content that connects with joy in an authentic and engaging way. Because the main point is really to create conversations. The more you're able to create conversations, the more you're able to create value for the people who are listening, but also the more you're able to understand your audience, what they're coming to you for, and how you can best serve them. Because this is really what's most important when you're creating content, understanding why you're creating the content. And we'll be touching on that a little bit more in the rest of the presentation. I'm gonna give you guys a sauce, don't worry. The reason why I do what I do is because I want to touch the world through joy, but more importantly, I want you guys to do a little bit of an exercise with me in understanding the power of your joy and being able to share your message with joy. Whether you have a business, whether it's your individual brand, or whether it's just you putting your goodness out in the world. Close your eyes and imagine a world where everyone lived unapologetically in their joy. And I mean, I'm going to check and make sure that you guys are actually closing your eyes, because in a quick second, I'm going to do something. But I want you guys to really sit in this moment for 10 seconds and close your eyes and envision what the world would look like if more people did what they want to do versus what they feel like they have to do. Okay? Close your eyes and let me know what you see. I'm going to check the chat really quick and see what you guys come up with. What do you guys see when you close your eyes and you vision a world of joy? And this is so important, because when we tap into our joy, we are able to create great and wonderful results that not only bless and help us, but bless and support and help other people. Yeah, what are you guys coming up with in the chat? Ooh, I don't know. All right. Leah says, people jumping up and down on green grass. Yes, I love that. So people out in nature, dancing. Well, you didn't say dancing per se. Jumping up and down is amazing, though. That's like on the way to dancing. Jacqueline says, I see everyone smiling and having fun doing what they love. Yes. Chukwa, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not like messing up your name. You said you see happiness. Yes. Mary Lou says happy people. Chia says happiness. Yes. And that is the wave that I'm on. The moment you're able to tap into your joy, you're able to create a wave of happiness that can create a ripple effect that will literally transform the world. One feel-good thing at a time. All you need to do is start one feel-good thing at a time. Vanessa says, happy families. Oh my gosh, I love that. Like, that's a whole other conversation for another day for me, because I'm all about creating happiness for yourself, so that you can share it with the people around you. And when you're able to do that, that's really where the magic starts, and you're able to create generational healing. Christine says she sees people wearing so much color and crazy creative outfits. Oh my gosh. Yes, I love this. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. So there's some really good stuff that you guys are tapping into. And that's the wave that I'm on. When the things that you see are the very things that I see, which is part of the reason why I find content to be such a wonderful avenue for you to simply show up and spread your joy through your content. It's so important. Okay. But let me tell you something. Starting off as a creative consultant and a joy strategist was not an easy path, all right, for me. You see me now and I'm like, yeah, follow your joy, do the things that you love. But it wasn't always like that for me. Let me tell you, my journey to purpose started off when I had to start adulting, and that started with graduating from college. And part of the reason why I work with people who are overwhelmed, overworked, and over it is because it's something that I understand. I work with people in transitional phases of life because I get it. I know how hard it is to come out of a situation where you don't have all the answers, but you're trying really hard, but things don't seem to be working out for you. And I myself experienced 3 major transitional phases in life that put me on this path of figuring out, well, what feels good? What brings me joy? What would make me happy if I could do this for the rest of my life? And those 3 transitional phases for me were graduating from college and entering real adulthood. You know, I'd done all the things that everyone said you should do. You should go to school. You should get your degree. You'll graduate, make tons of money, and ride off into the sunset with all of your bills paid and everything figured out for you. Let me tell you what didn't happen. That didn't happen because I graduated in the middle of a recession and no one was hiring. And the people that were hiring weren't paying what I thought that they'd be paying. I'd spent all this money to go to school and I just ended up with tons of college debt. The second transitional phase for me was becoming a mom and a wife, because that happened at the same time. And for me, that was a really big shift because I felt as though I had to put the best parts of myself on the back burner in order to take care of my growing family. I thought there is no way that I can pursue my life as a creative if I am a mom, because I have to focus on my children. I have to focus on my husband. So I thought I had to sacrifice my goals and dreams, i.e. my creativity. And for me, my creativity at that point was as a on-air host creating content for a living and doing street interviews in New York City. There was no way I was going to be able to do that with my baby, or so I thought. And then the third transitional phase was becoming a mom again. Being pregnant for the second time after just putting out a new creative project really like impacted the way that I associated myself with my creativity, and understanding that it was more than a creative outlet. It was more than creating content. For me, it was really a form of self-care and understanding that it was imperative that I followed my joy. And a sidebar for some of you who are watching who may not relate to any of this, another transitional point for me, and it wasn't one that I experienced personally, but it was one that I witnessed, was watching my mom go into retirement and understanding that there are transitional phases all throughout life. But the question is, what are you going to do that aligns you with your joy in any given season of your life? And how can tapping into your joy prepare you for what's next? Because the question isn't, what should I do? The question should really be that you should be asking yourself is, what can I do? What do I desire to do? What's in my heart? Where does my joy lie? And how can I get there? One feel-good thing at a time. So I want to check in with the chat real quick and see how you guys are feeling and understanding these transitional points. Have any of you been able to relate to this? Have any of you experienced any of these transitional phases for yourself? I would like to know in the chat. Oh, Pedro says, always I see artists. Yes. So let me know in the chat what you guys have experienced as far as your transitional phases. I would really, really like to know which point of these transitional phases you can relate to. Any of them, let me know, and I can see then who's tuning in, which transitional phase you're in, and how creating content can serve you in this joy-filled season. All right? But in the meantime, in between time, we're going to keep this train moving. So as I went through all of those transitional phases, I realized, all right, I'm going to follow my joy. And for me, that came in the form of what I like to now call a joy quest. And this is actually step one of my journey to purpose process. Finding your joy. And the first thing that you need to do is journey to joy. And that comes in rediscovering your identity so that you can ignite your passions, reignite your passions, and reclaim your joy. But let me tell you what that looked like for me, because again, it wasn't easy, and it was a process that took me almost 3 years, but I was able to put it together in a form where people can now go through this process in less than an hour. But for me, finding my joy and going on my joy quest was a matter of glowing with the flow. Not just going with the flow, but glowing with the flow and following what felt good. And for me, that looked like rediscovering who I was, my identity, the things that I enjoyed. So I went back to designing jewelry because, like I told you, that's something that I'd been doing for some time. But once I was going to college, once I left for college, I decided or thought really, I need to stop making jewelry. I can't be creative because I need to follow, I need to focus on school because school's what's most important. I can't really make money making this jewelry, things that we tell ourselves, right? And following my joy also led me back to just creating in general, the things that I'd done when I was younger, singing and writing poetry and songs and stories in English and in Spanish, because that's something that I'd done. Watching people, just people watching, literally some days going to New York City just to sit down and watch people as they walk by, conducting street interviews, because that is a passion of mine, and just engaging in conversation with everyday people. Even though I've done celebrity interviews, part of this journey to purpose led me to creating content for Ebony Magazine and Juicy Magazine, and doing some of these really cool and awesome things, including New York Fashion Week. But what I found was that my heart, my passion lied most with regular everyday people and helping them discover their vision for their life and find joy. Video production and show development, blogging and vlogging. I started podcasting. And again, I went back to on-camera hosting. I developed a skill of on-camera hosting, and it was all self-taught simply by doing the things that felt good. I didn't have all the answers, but I was willing to show up and try something new. Let me check in with the chat with you guys real quick, because we're about to get into this conversation of figuring out how to weave your way to joy. And we're about to show you guys how to create content that connects. So Christine says, and this is to see where you guys are on your transitional phase. Transitioning from college, marriage, and having a baby is something that she's experienced. And that's the season that she's in transition-wise. Okay, I see you. I feel you. I can relate to you. Debbie Swanson Patrick says, my whole life has been a transition. Ooh, Debbie. Oh, gosh. And here's the thing. A lot of people think that transitional phases are like momentary things, but it's like you said, Debbie, if you are living, life is constantly transforming and transitioning. The question is, how are you going to tap into your joy to make the most of the moment and create what it is that you want moving forward? Sia says, I've been ill for 9 years now, so I had a few years to stop and stare. Now I know what I want to do, which is empower women and work with them to build self-esteem. Okay, Sia, I feel you. How are you planning on doing that? What content are you creating to share that message? And Tim says, transitioning from corporate America. Oh my gosh, Tim, that's a big one. That is a biggie. That is a biggie. And we're going to show you how to create content that shares all of these messages in a way that will help you guys level up your joy and create quick content that connects with the people that you're trying to reach. All right, let's dive back in. So the first thing you need to understand of creating content with joy is that your content is a vibe, okay? Creating content does not have to be hard, all right? It does not have to be a to-do on your to-do list. It does not have to be a drag or draining, okay? Creating content is supposed to be fun. And if you are following your joy, first and foremost, and exuding your joy because you're doing things that you're passionate about, it makes the process enjoyable and effortless. Like really and truly, everything is content. But you have to show up authentically as who you are, and you have to be creating content that's organic to what it is that you do. So it doesn't have to be hard, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that right now through my Weave Joy method. So I'm going to show you newbies how to create content and weave joy into the method. Now, I want you guys to know that the Weave method is 5 steps in weaving your joy. It's super easy. You guys will remember how to do this as you are creating your content in a quick and easy way. But first and foremost, you will have to place your joy first. And I think that this is what's most important in remembering or in knowing how to create your content. This is like so cool, guys, like seriously, because it took me like 10 years to figure this out. And I think that this will help you guys get it in like less than 10 minutes, all right? So let's hop into the weave method. The first part of the weave method is why. Understanding your why. Why are you creating your content? I want to make sure that you guys are ready for this though first. So I'm going to hop over to the chat and see how many of you guys are ready. How many of you guys are still here, like tuning into this weave method that I'm about to share with you guys? How many of you are ready? Actually, let me hear this and let me see what's going on in the chat, because I don't want to get into it if you guys aren't ready. All right. Are you guys ready? I think you're ready. All right. So I want to know why. Oh, yay, Taran. Okay, I'm so excited. So, all right, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I'm going to get back to it. All right. So why? Why are you creating this content? Why do you want to serve the people or show up in the way that you are showing up in the world? What purpose does the content serve beyond gaining likes and followers? Okay. And this is a really important question to engage with and understand, because I think that right now social media has our world kind of like upside down, in that people are doing things to gain notoriety and fame, but they don't understand exactly why they want to gain notoriety and fame. I personally have experienced this, and it's not that I want to have like a bunch of followers for the sake of having a bunch of followers, but this was a process that I had to go through in understanding why I wanted to create content. I'm going to tell you guys a really quick story. a couple of years ago, I was a part of a program where we had to create these big visions and results. And I'm a visionary, so I love the idea of a big vision. And they were like, think big, go hard. And at this time, I was just starting my YouTube channel, and I saw the power of YouTube and having a following. So when it came time for me to set my goal was, I want to have 30,000 followers on YouTube. And for the next however long I was going through this program, I stuck with this vision and this goal of, I want to have 30,000 followers. I want to have 30,000 followers. And I did all of these things to really push myself to get these 30,000 followers. But after the program was done, and I didn't hit my goal. I'm just putting that out there. I didn't hit my goal, but I learned so much through the process of trying to hit my goal. And in the years since, I really have come back to this question of, well, why did you want 30,000 followers, Erica? And I had to sit with that for a while and really understanding why I was creating all of this content, why I wanted to have these people following my journey or understanding my story or consuming my content. And what I realized was that it absolutely wasn't about the followers, but it was about the ability to impact people in understanding the value of their purpose and living in their joy. You don't have to have thousands of followers to do that. You could literally go outside on the street and start doing that with a random person on the street. If you are able to touch one life in alignment with your message, in alignment with your values, and in a way that touches them and moves them and inspires them to do something great, then you've done your job. And once I got clear with that, it made creating content so much easier, because let me tell you something that happened. When I was in that process and mindset of just trying to create content for the sake of creating content to get these 30,000 followers, I started hating the content creation process. It became work. And on top of that, I was all over the place because I was scattered and not really understanding who I was trying to touch, but more importantly, why I was trying to touch them. So the first step of the Weave Joy method is to understand why you are creating content beyond gaining likes and follows. It's really about creating a conversation and sharing your message in a way that will touch people in service to them and bettering their lives in some way, shape, or form. All right. Who'd like that? Why? So think about that. Why are you creating your content? And as you think about that, we're going to hop into the E of the Weave Joy method, which is to embrace your past. Okay. There is gold in your poop. There is absolutely gold in your poop. Going back to this idea of thinking about social media, right now we're in an age where a lot of people like things to look super pretty and perfect, okay? People want to come off as very polished and very professional and having all of their ducks in a row and things together. But let me tell you something. It takes practice and it takes time to get there. But more importantly, people like to be part of experiences that they can relate to. If you're a relatable person, if you are sharing things in a way that speaks to people where they are, you are more likely to get them to connect with your content in a way that has lasting power and impact in their life. So they're not just consuming your content the same way that they're consuming all of the content that they scroll through. They're actually able to apply or relate the content to their life in some way, which is actually what keeps them coming back for more and actually makes them more engaged in your content. So it's not just about having the like or the follow for the moment, but it's really about creating lasting relationships with the people who are consuming your content. And I want you guys to understand that when you do this, when you create content that is grounded in who you are and all of your life experiences, your past, your present, and also what it is that you desire for the future, you understand that you're an expert. Okay, you may not be an expert in all the things, but one thing that you are an expert in is your life experiences. The moment you are able to speak on that with authenticity and in an organic way, that is the moment that you are able to really, again, create content that connects with joy, because you're not trying to make things seem perfect, but you're really just presenting things in your truth. There is value in that, and there is gold in that, okay? All the messy, stressful stuff, there's gold in your poop. Okay, I want you guys to know that. And I want to share a little bit of a story again about an experience like this. As a full-time stay-at-home mom, this was a transition for me that was like really major, and thinking that I had to give up who I was in order to be the perfect mom, be a good wife. And I remember at one point when I had my blog, Live Rich Mommy, in 2017, I was on a photo shoot with a friend, and I had both of my kids with me because my kids like are my roll dogs. They're my +2. If you're inviting me anywhere, you have to have the +2 on the invite because they are coming with me. They're actually here now, but we're not going to be too loud because I don't want them coming out. And I remember being on this photo shoot, and I was asking the person who was photographing me, like, how do I look? And I was trying to juggle one baby and breastfeed him while managing my toddler who was like running circles around me at the time. And I remember trying to be very like perfect and professional and give off this air of, I have my life together. And then when I asked her this question, she responded with, you look like a mom who's trying to manage 2 kids. When I tell you guys, that was like a light bulb moment for me. It was in that moment that I realized, you know what? I am a mom who's juggling 2 kids. There is power in that. And that became my story. The moment I embraced that and stopped trying to like give off this air of perfection, I was able to gain freedom that allowed me to just create content as it was. It didn't have to be perfect. It just needed to be present. So understand that you need to embrace your past and know that you are an expert in your life experiences. This is part of what people come to you for. Yeah. The A part of the Weave Joy method is to acknowledge your present and own it. Comparison is a thief of joy. I think that a lot of times when people come to this idea of creating content, they look to inspiration from their favorite Instagrammers, their favorite YouTubers, and their favorite content creators in general. That's wonderful. That is absolutely lovely. But what you don't want to do is compare yourself to them, because comparison is a thief of joy. All right. You have no idea what those people are going through or what it took them to create that content. You have no idea the full expanse of their story, but you know your story. If you're able to focus on your story, your joy, and the message that you are trying to provide and share with others, that is the moment that you are able to really tap into your joy. There is so much value in who you are, where you are in your life, and even when you are. And the moment you're able to tap into that, you know that you're able to connect with people and speak on whatever it is with real knowledge and understanding. Own your present, okay? Own your present. The next part of the Weave Joy method is to visualize it, because if you can, I was about to say believe it, you can achieve it. That's true too. But if you're able to visualize where it is that you want to go, you're more willing to show up and do the work, whatever the work may look like. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to be willing to step out on faith. And part of the reason why I love this so much is because, and when I spoke about earlier being a child of God, this is why I really connect to this, because it's a matter of faith and simply trusting and believing and surrendering whatever it is that you want to do, but understanding that you just have to show up. You just have to show up. Something that I love to do is vision boarding. I am like, oh, I absolutely love vision boarding. I have like a whole workshop about it, 6 weeks, and just understanding how to break down the vision and then strategize the ways to get there. But also understanding that sometimes there's a little bit of magic that's sprinkled onto the experience of visualizing where it is that you want to go enjoy. And that's simply faith. The moment you're able to lean into your faith and again, just trusting, that's the moment that you're able to just create your content and live with joy. And that's how your message really comes across. Things don't have to be perfect. You just have to start. Just start. Okay? Have the vision and then execute it. And the last part of the Weave Joy message is everyone. Understanding that everyone is not for you. Okay? hone in on your audience. There are over 7 billion people on this planet, and you just need to create a little corner in the internet, a little corner of the internet where people are able to know you, like you, and trust you as you are building content that serves them in some way. And I say this because it's really important to understand that the moment you're able to gain clarity in who you're trying to serve by coming back to the question of why you're trying to serve them and understanding your why, that's the moment that you're really going to have fun in this content creation process, because then you're not trying to create content to cater to a lot of people. You're understanding that you just need to focus on creating content to serve this particular avenue or lane of people, because those are your people. When you're creating content, especially if you're doing it as a business owner or an entrepreneur, you are more than likely creating this because you want people to visit your site, you want people to purchase your product, whatever the case may be. But your product isn't meant for everyone, right? More than likely, it's not meant for everyone. Like, you'd like it to be meant for everyone, but there are a key group of people that would gain the most value from what it is that you're offering. Those are the people that you want to focus on. Hone in on your audience. And this is where creating a niche market is really, really important. I myself, at one point, because I'm a multi-passionate creative, I get so inspired by so many things. And I was creating so much content all over the place. I had a blog, I have a podcast, I was creating jewelry, I was writing for other people, I was doing on-air hosting for other people, creating shows for other people, and my attention was scattered all over the place. But the moment I was able to gain clarity about who I wanted to serve through this process of understanding my journey, and understanding I want to work, with entrepreneurs, because creativity and creating things like really jazzes me up and gets me so excited and really like taps into my joy. The moment I was able to gain clarity in that and understanding that I also really enjoy working with women, just given my experiences, it made creating content so much easier. I focused my intention on my blog. I was able to focus my podcast content on speaking specifically to the women that I was trying to reach, but also understanding that anybody can gain value from the content. Anybody can watch it. Anybody can pick up stuff from the content that will benefit them in their life. But I'm not speaking to those people. I'm speaking to the women who are going through hard times or desiring to do more with their life, but they don't understand how to get there. Those were the people who want to create businesses, but they're not sure of the steps that they should take. Those were the people that I was trying to reach. The moment I was able to get clarity on that, it made creating content so much more fun, because I could focus my energy rather than spreading it wide. I was able to go deep. Whew. Oh my goodness. All right. So this is the Weave Joy method, but I want to check in with you guys to see what you guys are connecting with as far as this content creation process and what value you're gaining from this so far. How do you think this Weave Joy method so far is going to help you where you are in your life? Let me know in the chat, okay? I'm going to go over there, see what you guys are saying, but I'm also going to take a drink of water because I'm a little parched. How are you guys doing? How are you guys going to be weaving joy into your content creation and your life moving forward? Let me know in the chat how this Weave Joy method will impact you and the content that you're creating. Understanding your why, embracing your past, acknowledging your present, visualizing where it is that you desire to go with your business, and creating your content and honing in on your niche and understanding that everyone is not for you, but focusing on the people that are. And as I wait for you guys to let me know, I am going to share someone with you. I'm going to share someone with you who implemented this Weave Joy method into their life. And her name is, well, we're going to do a case study, a joy study. Her name is Daylene. So I absolutely love working with regular entrepreneurs, everyday people like Daylene. Daylene is someone who came to me with this idea for 2 businesses, and the businesses were based on her life experiences, okay? She started with finance. She came from a corporate background, working in finance with corporate America and a bank. But then at one point, she decided that she wanted to follow her joy. And her joy was being a freelance makeup artist. But let me tell you something. Daylene was not here for play, okay? She didn't just want to be like a makeup artist. She wanted to be a makeup artist to the stars. And she wanted to create content that would really speak to people who were looking to transition in pursuing a makeup career, because Daylene does makeup for television and film. So she left her corporate background to create content, yes, but also to do makeup for stars on TV and film sets. So she came with two ideas, Finance and Foundations, which was to help freelancers create financial foundations as they were transitioning into a freelance lifestyle using her finance background in corporate America. But then she also had another idea for a business called Lipstick and Dreams, where she would help makeup artists understand how to get involved in the TV and film industry. And so with all of these things, Daylene had a lot of ideas, but she was having a little trouble figuring out how to create content, developing marketing ideas, and how she could also create these offerings in a way where it would connect with her audience with joy. Together, we worked together to create some digital products for her to put on her site, some programs and some trainings. We even outlined a course for her to create, and also just breaking down ways that she could create quick content with joy and in a way that wasn't stressful for her. Isn't Daylene beautiful? I can stare at this picture all day. Daylene's amazing at what she does. It brought me joy to help her through this process, but it also brought her joy because she didn't have to sit down and stress about how to create content that connected. She was able to figure out how to do it in a way where people got it, but she also didn't have to spend all day creating the content, because sometimes that's what happens when you create content. It becomes tough, right? So here goes a little bit of a testimonial where she shared what she gained from the process. It got her energized and ready to take off, which was really awesome and such a beautiful thing to say. But again, it was just a matter of her tapping into her joy and doing what she does well. So there are a number of ways that being a content creator and joy strategist, I can help you guys with content development strategy. I have a podcast that shares free resources. I do one-on-one consultations, and I have workshops like this to share with you guys how to create content that joys. And the main mission here is to connect in a way that serves you guys. So now I want to help you. I want to help you guys tap into your joy. I want to help you guys understand. Booby, go to the potty, okay? I told you they'd come out. You don't get any chocolate. I want you, please wait, baby, okay? Please wait. Told you guys, the juggle is real, okay? I did a whole podcast episode about this last week. The juggle is real. They're always around. But now I want to help you guys understand how you can create content with joy with my content creation for newbies, quick starter guide. And I want you guys to know that everything that I've mentioned in terms of the Weave Joy method is mentioned here, but it's also done in a way where you'll be able to understand the structure for how you can start weaving joy into your content creation process in less than an hour, okay? And because I am all about the joy gems and spreading joy, and I am so committed to this purpose of helping you guys figure out how to find joy in creating your content, I am offering a limited time offer and taking the experience from $57 to $37. And you can do that by putting the code BIGJOY into the cart at checkout. But because I want to sweeten the deal, and I really want you guys to create content. I want you guys to start doing this now. And I want you guys to understand how simple it can be. It does not have to be hard. It does not have to be tedious. I am going to be offering free, okay, one-on-one consultation calls to the first 10 people that hop in my emails or my DMs after getting this offer, okay? Once you take advantage of this offer and you are tapping into your big joy and using it at checkout to get this quick start guide, the first 10 people who message me after doing that, yeah, baby. Okay.
I don't want more toilet paper.
Oh, she has all the toilet paper. You won't get your chocolate. You got to bribe them sometimes. The moment you're able to do that and you are, you message me back with letting me know that you've done this, I will be offering free consultation calls to 10 people. The first 10 people. And I want to do this because I want you guys to understand the takeaways that you're getting from the program and the product. I will help you create a strategy to move forward with your joy and so that you can start implementing the Weave Joy method into your content creation process starting today. All right. This program really helps you. Booby, you have to wait, okay? I'm almost done. This program will help you. Yes, Aria. One moment, okay? Okay, you'll be all right. You will understand. Like, seriously, how many of you are moms in this chat? Let me know in the chat. Let me know how many of you are moms and juggling business life and just trying to serve the world in joy. I really want to know how many of you go through this every day. But what's included in the program is really just a quick process in helping you understand what creates joy and also the importance of helping you do this in a way that is not taxing to you and, again, not draining, because nobody wants to create content that's draining. All right. So with that said, I want to encourage you guys to start your content creation journey today, one feel-good thing at a time. And don't forget to send me a DM or email me after you've used the code BIGJOY